What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY in the overall market. I'm going to talk about some very key levels to watch from what's happening thus far. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. Not to mention 8.1% APY on invested cash. The offer ends in just a couple of weeks. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with the markets. So, looking at Tesla, we got this dip down like we were talking about, down to this 415 area. And I said as long as we hold, 415 to 420, we're going to be looking for an attempt to try to get back up to these highs. Tesla technically broke all-time highs just temporarily, only to get a rejection near this 430 area. And now we're testing our 20 EMA. So you guys can see that Tesla has a range that's been established. We like to get bought back up around 414-ish, not to mention 420. But then the closer we get to 430, we tend to reject. It's been like this for the last 2.5 days. So we're going to be watching this range on Tesla at least moving forward. But I'll talk more about these levels in just a minute. I just want to mention that there is some news coming out that in the Philippines, Tesla is building its first supercharger station, which just goes to show that Tesla is continuing to expand its reach in different countries. As they expand, it's going to help their sales in a lot of different ways, and this will help attract a lot more buyers as time goes on. So I think that's pretty good news. On top of this, I want to mention that as Tesla expands, there have been more talks about them, looking into another showroom for parts of India. That could also be another good place for them to expand to because of the fact that there's a lot of engineers there. There's a lot of demand for a lot of the things that Tesla's looking for. So I think that's going to be very bullish as well. And I can't wait to see what else Tesla gives us in the future when it comes to their expansion plans. Besides that, there wasn't really anything else that came out on the news that was too significant. So now we're just going to focus on technicals and just what the charts are showing us. So as far as Tesla goes, like I said before, we're just completely range bound. We're just stuck going back and forth between these levels. Tesla's just going back and forth between 430 and basically 420 for the most part. Sometimes we do dip all the way down towards like 415, 414, only to get bought back up. So this is the range we're stuck in for now. And that's all I see Tesla doing for the time being. To be bullish, you want to close above 430, and to be bearish, you want to see it lose 414. Otherwise, we're just going back and forth and back and forth for now. We did see an attempt to break all-time highs only to come back down. So look for a test of 420. The market is slowing a bit, so if Tesla does not hold that, we could dip a little bit lower. But overall, like I said, we're just range bound. If we lose 414, we'll be looking for an attempt to get all the way down here. The first level would be like right around here, the previous resistance becoming support at 409. Then we have 406, which is very close to our 20 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. So these two supports are going to be coming like very close to 410, then 406. If that fails us, and then we have 400 below that. But for now, like I said, we're just range bound on Tesla. I think we did a pretty good job of trying to push, but as the market is slowing, it's having its toll on Tesla stocks. Just keep that in mind. As far as SPY goes, just know that SPY got this rejection. So the issue with SPY is that we're also range bound. And what I mean is, as we get very close to about 608, SPY tends to reject up here. As we get very close to 602 to 603, we tend to get bought back up. So right now, there's a big test coming on SPY. We attempted to bounce, but I said in my morning video, if we don't reclaim 608, expect us to just continue to trade in this range. And that's what's happening so far. Now, SPY's got to hold at least 602. If we don't hold this, this could be a bad sign. I also want to point out that there was a divergence developing between SPY and the QQQ. The QQQ was at all-time highs earlier today, whereas SPY is making a lower high. That could signify that this could be turning. This looks a little bit more distributive, which also signifies downside's a stronger possibility. So that could signify us coming down closer to 602 flat. If 602 fails us, we could be on our way down to about 600, then 598. So please keep that in mind. There is some weakness building on this chart. However, we haven't officially lost support, so we'll see if 602 holds. I think we might be testing the 602s, and we'll see if we get bought back up from there or not. To turn back up, at the very least, I want to see SPY reclaim 605.38 or the 20 EMA. We're not too close from that. We're more than 2 points away from that, so it's not the best of signs. So we'll see if SPY could hold up around those levels. Look for a dip. We're going to get very close to the 602s, and we'll see if SPY gets bought back up near this range. 602 to 603 are very close to it, so do buyers defend us and get us back above 605. If not, there's going to be a risk of more downside going into next week. On ES, it's basically the same setup. We pumped I was hoping we get close to about 6090 to 6100. Came a little bit short of that, only to get a rejection. So this looks a little bit more bearish. We have a more distributive structure as well. If we lose 6040, there's going to be a risk of us coming down to 6020, then 6000 flat. We are looking a little bit weaker on ES, so we'll see if we hold this support right here at the 6040 area. To turn back up, I would like to see this reclaim 6070. So we're quite a distance away from our main support that has been broken so far. So I want to see it reclaim 60 70 at the very least to turn back up. Otherwise, this is favoring a little bit more downside. So please keep that in mind. The risk still remains. For others out there, we happen to have NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been rejecting as well. So this is on a bit of a downtrend move right here. We tried to bounce. I was talking about how 140 would be coming. I was hoping it would push more, but instead we got a rejection. Part of the reason why that happens is because of some bad news that came out. So with this going on, we're looking at the support down here at 131.8. We gotta hold that, or else 130 is coming. Nvidia is showing some weakness compared to the market, so just be mindful of that this could continue to dip a little bit more. But we'll see if we base around 131.7 or not. There might be a little bit more downside coming. Bitcoin is kind of flat. It's testing 99,734 support. And we have this resistance around the low 100,000 range. So this is our range. We're just stuck for now. If we lose 99,734, we could be tipping lower for about 99,200. Otherwise, we just remain range bound. Besides that, we have other stocks such as Tesla has like a double top leg structure. We're still range bound, by the way, on Tesla. So make sure you watch and see if you hold 420, whereas 430 is our resistance. So we're still stuck there. For others, we have NQ rejecting right here. This was trying to break all-time highs, but notice that there was a bearish divergence that developed on NQ. So we're going to be looking at 21,677 as our support. Otherwise, this could be tipping all the way down to 21,583. For the QQQ, same thing. We pushed to new all-time highs. I was talking about how we could get very close to about 534. We came a little bit short of that target. Now we're coming back down. So because we rejected, we lost this 530 support. We could be on our way down to about 520. First off, we have 527. Then we have 525 below that. If that does fail, if this low breaks, there's going to be a risk of us coming all the way down to like 522. So keep that in mind. Watch 527 and 525 as our supports. For Apple, it's a very tricky trend. Now we had kind of like a slanted head and shoulders like structure. We're going to be looking at 246 as our support. If that fails us, this is going to be a risk of coming back down to 244. So watch 246 and 244 as key levels. For the IWM, we're on a bit of a downtrend here. We got this big rejection, so we're continuing to fall. We were supposed to hold 234. If we did not hold that to get back into this channel, I told you all there's going to be a risk of 232, and that's where we're heading towards right now. So watch 232 as our first support. If that doesn't hold, look at 231 at the 200 EMA. For now, we look a bit more bearish. For others out there, such as Coin. Coin attempted to rebound for 320, then it got a rejection. So we're looking at this gap down here. It might fill this gap close to 303. Amazon tried to pump. We're testing this key support at our 20 EMA around 226. We'll have to see if that holds or not. If it does not hold, we could be on our way down towards 225. So let's see if 226.5 holds. Otherwise, 225 is coming. Meta is slowing here. We have to try to reclaim 622. Otherwise, this could be dipping lower towards 612. So we'll have to see if it holds. Otherwise, we could dip lower. Microsoft could also be dipping towards 445.95, so it could be coming down lower. If that fails us, we could be dipping for 443. So look for some downside for 445, and we'll have to see what happens after that. For Google, we're also on a bit of a downtrend here. We could be looking for 190 as our main support. If that does not hold, look for 188. So look for a little bit more downside. It's a little bit weaker, but we'll just have to see how it goes. With that being said, the market is still slowing as I speak, so make sure you watch the key supports. Let's see if Tesla could hold 420 or not. And even if it does, even if it doesn't, we're still range bound technically. We're still in a range. There's no sign that Tesla's officially breaking. It's very resilient compared to its counterparts. So I want to give Tesla some credit for that. But anyways, that is it for my video. Watch the levels I called out. The market did attempt to bounce only to slow back down. So we'll see if the support holds. Otherwise, we will turn more bearish. So make sure you watch the levels I called out. Anyways, thank you for listening. I'll see you guys very soon in a couple of hours, and peace out.